So do you have random pieces that you picked up when you were garage sale, estate sale, if you go to auctions, or just at the thrift store and you're like, this is just so cool, I have to take it. And then you get it home and then you're like, okay, I put it in my stash and then it's just hanging around there. I'm going to share with you some ideas of what I do with the items that I've done that with today in this video. And if you are new here, my name is Yvonne and I love to share the many ideas I have with secondhand pre-loved items. So first off, we're going to start with this beautiful, primitive, well-made, heavy fabric flag that has been in my stash longer than I would like to admit. So it does have some wrinkles, so I'm going to go ahead and use my little Cricut heat press, handy little tool, to get some of those wrinkles and the folds from it being folded and stashed away ironed out. So I just by chance have another old hanger. Hold on to these if you get these in a haul, because you just never know what you could use them on. Well, this one opens up, so it would have probably been like a pants or skirt hanger. So I thought, oh my gosh, I think that this will slide in and then makes a beautiful, oh, what a way to display that flag. If all crafting ideas could be that super simple, but they don't all need to be hard. But oh my gosh, see, look at a wire basket. I don't even know what it went to, if maybe it was like from a plant, but I just see it as a metal cloche. So now I have this random piece of wood. I don't know if it was a lid. I don't know what it went to either, but there are two I don't know items that I'm going to pair together. And no, it doesn't fit on top of it, but it fits perfectly around the wooden piece. One of my favorite greeneries is this baby grass. I order it wholesale. You can order it in this small little wreath form. It's just that nice pop of green that can go into the seasons because it has a little bit of brown and yellow to it. Absolutely love it. And it's going to pair nicely with this little nest that was thrifted in a bag of something. Love these little nests. I love to hoard on to them. Oh, everything's still fitting. That's good. I didn't want it to be touching the top of the cage. And a bag of white birds. Oh, get in my car at Goodwill. I gotta love even the extra of the 2 eggs. Oh my gosh, just basic white. Don't need to do anything to this cute little bird. And look at how super simple this was. Just 4 simple items paired together that randomly were bought separately with no idea of the egg. I thought, I'll try the egg, but no, I didn't think I was going to like it. Birds are always the way to go. If I had some smaller eggs, it might go. And then I was kind of checking out, like, are the birds all 4 the same? Yes, they are. But, oh, it's so that green with that brown, with that rusty crusty, and that white bird. Oh, be still my heart. Such a super easy pairing of 4 pieces. And now I'm just going to pull some of the greenery out so it doesn't look like it's just smushed underneath that wire cage, wire cloche, whichever way you want to look at it. Bird and cage. Anyway, so yes, I absolutely love pairing all 4 of these pieces together. So now this piece came off, that's missing its metal. It would have been probably a pulley. It's just the piece of wood, which is absolutely aged gorgeous. It's got beautiful patina. It's nice and thick. So I'm going to be using it today as a riser. My next piece may seem a little weird, but I believe it is a muzzle to stop like a calf from eating from his mommy. So, but it's flat. It's a beautiful rusty, crusty metal piece. beautiful cloche for this wooden pulley piece. Oh, my heart is so happy when these were all paired together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a little vignette, a little scene of all these little treasures that I have collected. So first off, we're starting off with this metal flower frog, and then I have some thrifted paper. These were all either estate sale finds, garage sale finds, or even antiquing and finding things on the cheap. So beautiful bingo cards. They are a stack of paper ones. So not hard cardboard, fit perfectly. Love flower frogs for staging, papered items, cardboard, postcards, or anything like that. So now I just have this candle holder. It's got this beautiful aged candle in it that has not been burnt. And then we're just going to add an old wooden block that has lost a lot of its color because I love the patina, and that pop of the lightness of the wood matches the candle color. And then some rusty, crusty skeleton keys that match the rusty cage. It all is kind of coming together. I want to add a little bit more lightness to it, so I have this random number 6 tag along with an old hard clay toy sheep. So there's that lightness with all that dark, and it all just plays right off each other. It's a nice place to have your little collections, and then put that cloche, the cage, right over it to keep them all together. Now I'm pretty sure that this is an old brass light fixture that probably was outside. That patina, oh lordy, it is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, absolutely love this. And I found this in an antique store, y'all. I say, never underestimate what you can find. And yes, it was on the cheap. So I'm just going to get the rest of the electrical because no, I'm not rewiring it. Not rewiring it. That is not one of my skills, that's for sure. And luckily it just needed a little bit of straightening, and all I had to do was kind of bend it here and there and to get it straight. Now it is clean, but I think I can get that glass a little bit cleaner. The glass has some texture to it, so I'm just taking a wet wipe at first, and I'm like, oh good, it is coming off, because I really wanted you to be able to see through the glass a lot more than what you were now. It just looked really cloudy, so I was hoping that it just needed cleaned a little bit more. So wet wipe, and then I'm going to take some glass cleaner and really get it to sparkle up. And when I saw this piece, I knew exactly that. I'm like, oh, a candle, a battery operated candle would be perfect. And since it still has like the light bulb thing in there, I don't know what the technical word for it is, it fit my battery operated candle perfectly. Though we need some lightness to this. We got a lot of dark features going on. So I have a stem. There again, I buy these wholesale. I sell them in my retail booth. I've never sold them on eBay. I don't know why, just because. Anyway, so I'm going to cut some of these pieces up to add some lightness to this. It's now a candle holder. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the bottom of the stem, though I'm not going to use this whole, like the whole long one. I'm just going to cut it in half, a little bit of hot glue, and then kind of put it around. There's a ring where the insert is. So I'm just going to hot glue that in, and then I'm really going to try to stuff it and push it into those cold corners. I want you to be able to see the candle, but look at how that pop of green is showing through. I really needed to get that glass cleaned, and it's, yeah. So it'll be 4 pieces in all 4 corners just to get that pop of greenery, that pop of texture, and that pop of lightness in the inside of this. Now let's see what that candle looks like. It fits, like, I am surprised how well it fits in there. So I'm just going to see how it's looking. Though I feel like I've just trapped the greenery inside, I think since it has that outer edge, I can put a little bit more greenery on that edge that's hanging over, not like cover the whole thing. I didn't want to cover the base by any means because I think that that patina on there is just so absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I think I can tuck it here and there and wrap a little bit around and hot glue it in place just to give it a little bit more visual features. You know, you always just do something until you love it. So just go with your instinct. It's just hot glue. If you didn't like it, you can just take it right off. As I'm working with this, I'm just thinking of the patina of a cow tag that I have. Yes, sometimes you just put random like things together and a cow tag and an old porch light. Yeah, yeah. But the patinas match, and it's just that little, there's something about numbers that just has my heart and that unexpected little added piece to this. So just there again, it's just hot glue. It's nothing that has to be permanent. This is the first time I've ever seen a flower frog. Not that it has that thin wire, but that it's that vintage green and that pop of aged galvanized metal. It's heavier than galvanized, but oh, my heart was so happy when I stumbled across this. So now I want to display it to the best of its abilities, but put a little bit of bling on it. So we got one of the birds, and now I'm going to take some more of that baby grass stem, and we're not going to put a nest. We're not going to put a little wreath that's going to cover the whole thing up. All I'm going to do is just stick some of these pieces in it. Like I said, these are not difficult at all of pairing, like looking at your stash and pairing the things together. Yeah, adding some greenery just ties it all together sometimes, and this is one of those cases. So yes, I'm just kind of sticking it in there for right now, just trying to get like where it's just kind of circling that bird. Just happen to have needle pliers near me, so I'm just kind of pushing it in a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to flip it over from the bottom and pull them through a little bit to shorten them, to tighten them. I don't want them all just to fall out once you pick it up. And then I don't want to just keep using long stems, so I'm going to go ahead and cut little pieces to kind of tweak them in here and there where there's kind of holes to fill it in a little bit more. If you see old light fixtures, any kind of cages, pick them up. That is what this is. I believe it would have been a cage for a light bulb also, but that green is amazing. It's got just like enough green and enough rusty crusty on it that it is just absolutely gorgeous. So showcasing it to the best of its ability to use it in one's decor. So I have this salvaged wooden piece that I have no idea what it came off of, but it's gorgeous. And I don't want to take away from the green patina, and I don't want the base necessarily. I want it to be an accent, not the star of the show. So I didn't want to paint it. It's a beautiful wood piece as is. So that is going to be your little riser for this to sit on. And if you guessed battery operated candle, you guessed right. Yeah, perfect. Though unfortunately, even my shorter candle is too tall. Like if I use the holder that I pick up, it's way too tall. It like sticks out from the top. So, okay, well that won't work. So we're not going to use that, but it's wood. It already has a hole. So most definitely we should be able to drill in and make a place for this candle to sit. Because even though it will kind of stand on its own, there's no guarantees it's going to stay standing on its own. And plus, it's still, the tip of it is still covered by that top metal ring. Using a Forstner bit set that matches the bottom size of what the candle is and a drill. Chris just happens to be working on something in the workshop, so he's going to come over and secure the piece of wood down and drill the hole for me. Not all the way through, just enough that the candle will sit upright. So now there's some kind of glue or top coat. I would think it was probably something to adhere something to it, but I'm just going to take some 80 grit sandpaper and sand it down just a little bit. I have a couple more steps I want to do to this piece. I'm not going to restain it and like try to get that darker because whatever that adhesive is, it's pretty thick and you're not going to see this underneath once I'm finished with it really. Now I have this candle ring that actually has been cut. I was going to use it on another project, but it didn't quite look right. But then I should make sure when I buy these candles wholesale, I don't always I need to make sure that they work before selling them. So pop a little battery in there, make sure that we are good to go and the light is on. Yes, I like to see that light while I'm working. So I'm going to glue this little candle ring down anyway, so it didn't matter that it had been cut apart. And then how we did it previously, where we put the cage on and then we pulled the greenery through so it doesn't just look like it's all squished. Maybe a little bit of a challenge, but there's something about those. I love these grungy candles. So yes, I'm just going to put that on, make sure everything's in place, and then pull some of that greenery back through. If you watch my Journey channel, you know that when I am thrifting and I'm out and about, I pick up a lot of flower frogs. Absolutely love them. Even though this one has been spray painted silver, that's okay. I can tone it down and fit it into the primitive decor. I love just using some patina. So this is some rusty brown patina. I'm just going to rub it on with a shop cloth just to tone that very shiny down from that silver paint. Though I don't really necessarily need to put this next piece on, I just absolutely love this next piece. Whether it was a flower frog itself, which I'm kind of leaning towards, or it was part of a beater. You know, I'm on the fence on what the salvaged piece is, but I loved adding the two together. That's why I needed to do the patina on the bottom so that shiny wasn't so like in your face shiny. And yes, I'm just sticking it into the flower frog. If you've ever wondered what the heck do you do with a flower frog? Well, let me share a few ideas with you in this video. You can stick some type of paper in it like I did earlier in the video, the bingo sheets, or like this type of cage, even though it doesn't, like I said, you don't have to have this top piece on that I'm monkeying around with. These are perfect for register tags. I had some for sale. I'm not sure if there's any left on my eBay from where Chris took a register apart that we bought that was way worse for wear. But yeah, this cage actually is just going to help it stand a little bit more upright for me, and I really like the visual. So you just kind of play with it until it's kind of sitting the way that you want it to sit. So no glue here or anything, you're just kind of leaning things against each other. Now I have another primitive flag, and that's going to add some good height, but there again, you stick it right down in those flower frogs, no glue needed, and then you just kind of play with it until it sits the way that you want it to sit. Though I'm not using a whole grouping of wooden spoons, but these larger flower frogs are great to display old wooden spoons. So I just needed a third tall feature, and I had this wooden spoon that didn't really match any of my other wooden spoons, so I thought perfect. And now I'm adding in a metal heavy cast iron star that's in the creamish of color, so you're really getting that pop of color, but unfortunately it's got a hole in it. So I'm going through like my little stash of little watch faces to see what I can kind of weave in there without having to glue to hide that hole. Though this next step is not necessarily, you know, going to make or break this little vignette, but I did bring in another one of my baby grass wreaths, and I thought, well, if you want it as a little table center display, you can use a little wreath around it. If you just want it on a bookcase shelf sitter, you can just leave it as is. Now, isn't this just amazing? You've got that beautiful crackle chippy paint on it. Just some beautiful aged wooden piece, probably came off of a porch, a staircase. But the problem is, one, that it has nails, yes, obviously, but two, that it's just a half. So what do you do with a half of one? I'm going to see if I can get these nails removed. You can tell this piece is old. These are square nails. No, I couldn't just pull them out. I tried, but I think they're rusty enough. If I hammer on them, like in different directions, I can get them to break off. Like, you don't want to do one direction because that's just going to flatten it out. But if you do multiple directions, weaving, like wiggling it back and forth, a lot of times you can get them to break off. But this nail is going to be in the way from my design, so I'm going to go ahead and wiggle it, pull it, try my best, and get it out of there. I thought this piece would be perfect to hold 3 primitive flags, so I just matched up a drill bit that was a little bit bigger than what the flag dowel was, and that's why I needed that nail to be out, because I'm just going to reuse that hole. Even though it's not quite center, it's that perfectly imperfect. I'm going to go ahead and drill down far enough, whatever it'll let me drill down, because I'm not really sure where all those nails are in there. So I'll just take what it gives me. So for the next 2 flags on either side, I'm going to need to hold my drill at an angle so that they're kind of flaring out from the sides a little bit. Not like straight out from the sides, but just a little bit at an angle. I'm just going to eyeball where I think that I want it and then do a little Sharpie mark to make sure that I'm staying where I need it to be. And then after I get them both done, I'll kind of measure, you know, I'm eyeballing it. I think it looks good, but I'm just going to kind of measure a little bit with a ruler to make sure that they are not like terribly off. So now that I staggered them like this, I actually need to cut some of the dowel off. They just are kind of flopping there. So I'll leave the one in the middle a little bit longer and then cut the 2 on the side a little bit shorter. Just keep working on them, taking a little bit off here and there until it's pleasing to my eye. And before I hot glue them in place, some of them are a little bit wrinkled. I'm not sure if this will help them lay better or not, but I'll just take my little mini press and some parchment paper, because this is very thin material. I'm not sure if it would burn it or not. Just a precaution, and iron out any of those wrinkles. While I'm hot gluing them, I'm just going to hold them in place so they're staying straight up while the glue is curing. And I know everybody's probably like, I can't believe you're touching hot glue. I tell you, my hands, 31 years of hairdressing, they're pretty tough. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope I have inspired you to look into your stash, see if you have any of these little pieces and parts that you're like, hey, yes, I did pick these up at a garage sale or estate sale, and they've just kind of been laying in my stash, and I wasn't really sure what to do with them or how to display them or how to group them together if you're a reseller, how to resell them. Now, any of these items, I probably would have hot glued them or put a string on them, or on my tag said, this is a grouping, this is all sold together. So all of my little creations today will be up on my eBay store for anybody that is interested in a little bit of vintage vignette decor pieces. Yes, these are definitely salvaged finds with a little bit of twist to get into your decor. So let me know down in the comments, did you enjoy today's video? Have I inspired you in any way to look at your stash or look at items out when you're out and about in a whole different way? So again, thanks for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw and you like treasure hunting and you like to see where did I get all these types of items, and we have a second channel called GingerChickRehab The Journey where I show haul videos of when I'm out and about searching for hidden treasures. So again, thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscription button if you're not already subscribed, and the notification bell so you know I uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.